There we go. All right.
I like you.
Huh? Oh, you do like me. See, Deborah, you have to come back because they tell me they don't like me.
We miss you.
She just... Anyways, hi everybody. We're back with Weekly Dose, and I have Jen with me this week, filling in for a long-lost Deborah.
If you see my daughter in Ottawa, Deborah, please tell her to brush her hair. Thank you. She's visiting her grandparents in Ottawa right now, so.
I would so laugh if she actually came across her and was like, oh, this is pretty bitty. All right, so you're going to help us today. You've got a project that you get asked a lot of questions about, so you're going to share that with us.
Yes, I believe you have used it as the background before.
You have. So we're going to get started with a couple of announcements. We mentioned last week that we had a whole bunch of new Christmas fabric come in. So this week we have a Christmas fabric sale. Now, not on necessarily the new stuff, but there might be, I don't know. I just make the announcements. I don't actually pick. But we've got our table with lots of Christmas fabric on. We've got all of it. So come on in, check online, and check out the new sale because, you know, we all need Christmas fabric.
Christmas in July. Yep.
We can do Christmas at any point.
And just ask Tom when you come in, and he will tell you how many days are left. My countdown's to my cruise. His is to Christmas, so, you know.
You're going on a cruise?
I'm going on to an Alaskan cruise at the end of the summer. Yeah.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
I will fit in a bag.
But there won't be a bed for you.
I'll find a lounge chair.
That's true. Yeah. You could go and be a deck ornament. Yep.
Wouldn't I make a beautiful deck ornament?
It's Disney.
Stop laughing, you Deborah.
It's a Disney cruise, so they might even not throw stowaways overboard.
Oh, maybe. Or no, they'll make us walk the plank. They'll play Pirates of the Caribbean, and I'll be walking the plank.
Actually, if you do go on a Caribbean cruise with them and they have their pirate night, they call it Pirates in the Caribbean.
Ooh. I would like to do a cruise. My mother-in-law, she's like, no, she doesn't want to take her time getting somewhere. She just wants to get where she's going. And I'm like, well, so my kids kind of, when I mentioned cruising, they mentioned Titanic. So, but I would like to do a cruise up to Alaska, and it'd be fun.
I'm going to check out the quilting stores while I'm there because, there's things that we can't get here that they can get there. So,
yeah. Well, quilting stores all over the place have, they bring in different fabrics, even though we still all deal with kind of like the same manufacturers. You bring in stuff that, as Deborah puts it, speaks to you. And so every quilting store will have a different array of fabrics. And that's what I like about, visiting some of the different ones, is because you'll see different things.
That, and I enjoy doing it on, I know that the current country register is about having a road trip and hitting up all the fabric stores on your road trip. So that's fun because then when you look at the fabric again, it is one of these things that it'll remind you of your trip.
Yeah. When, how many years ago? A few years ago, when Carrie and I went down to Utah for training, we drove. And that's what we did. We stopped at quilt shops and stuff like that and checking out the different ones and, looking at different fabrics and stuff because, the U.S. gets different fabrics and a little bit than what we do to some degree, or at least I think. But it was nice seeing all the different varieties and way things were laid out.
Yeah, the row by row experience when it was still on. I know I don't even know if they still do that.
I don't know.
You'd go quilt shop hopping, and I would go down to my husband had work in Seattle at one point, so we went down and I hit up the 3 stores in Seattle, and I think even last year when we took the kids to Great Wolf Lodge for all the indoor swimming stuff, and I looked up the near quilt stores for that reason, so it's always fun.
I don't know if they're doing it. That's the one thing. I mean, there were a lot of things, but
COVID really hit that one hard.
yeah, there's just so many things have changed with quilt shops since COVID. You know, we lost a lot of the connection that we had prior to that, because you know, we used to come in, we do a whole bunch of sewing. We just had all of those connections, and then when COVID hit and we couldn't do that as much, we got into another habit. And so a lot of those things just kind of fallen by the wayside. That, you know, like I know with embroidery machines, we carried our embroidery machines and we grumbled about it because, you know, it's like, you know, worse than packing an infant sometimes with those embroidery machines, you know, but we got used to doing it at home and all those kind of things. And now we're like, oh, we really just don't want to pack up all that stuff to go in and sew. But it is so much fun when you can get together with a group of people. And so, I mean, Linda, we have our
sit and sew on Mondays. I come in on my day offs on Mondays to come and do the sit and sew when I can, because it's a community that I had before I even started working here. And like the women who come every week, they're wonderful. And you know,
and then, you know, we have like Embroidery and Me. We have that once a month because embroidery machines are a little harder. But I mean, I would definitely run it more often if more and more people wanted to, and you know, different days work. That's definitely not, because it's just nice getting together and working together with all those things. So we got those.
It's a social thing too. I was a stay-at-home mom for so long, and I didn't have I must say it, I'm usually the youngest person sitting there because I'm still in my 40s. But you know, that's fine, because you get all this generational knowledge too that gets passed on to us. And then now that I taught my daughter this year how to sew for the grade 7 entrepreneurship fair, and so you just saw me jumping up and down in the corner going,
it is becoming a lost art.
It is. It's a lost art, and just the number of people who walk in for hemming and stuff here, and we're like, sorry, we can't do it. We sell the machines, not do the projects.
I'm sounding old, but like this generation, I mean, we are so busy with a lot of things that this stuff just, you know, where it was passed down, like to, like if you had 5 girls, all the girls pretty much knew how to sew and how to do all those kind of things. So it was passed down and passed down and passed down. Now it's like very few. Like if you had 5 girls, maybe one will pick it up, maybe.
Yeah.
And
if you even have 5 kids now,
well,
that's a thing of the past as well.
I'm just kind of like generalizing, like where it was like 5 out of 5, now it's like 1 out of every 5 people learn how to do this. It could be even less than that, less than that. There we go. Who are really learning it. We're losing so much knowledge with that. So, public service announcement: make those kids sew.
Encourage them to sign up in grade 8 with the high schools for the sewing projects.
You know, or just as you know, our kids or our grandkids, you know, get them going. And I mean, granted, my girls, when I'm doing stuff, they're going, your house is starting to look like a granny house. Thank you.
My kids say I work at the grandma store. I'm sorry. I go home and I get told how old I am. I come into work and I get told how young I am. So
that's why you come into work.
That's why I come into work. Thank you.
All right. Couple of other announcements. Kona Club.
Kona Club. Okay.
So if you are not aware what this is, we have a club. Now, this is not when you come and attend. This is a purchase club. And so you're going to tell us about Kona Club for those who don't know what it is.
Now, usually what happens is you sign a contract for a year and you get a monthly package. Now, this is what it looks like. So it'll come with a free pattern and then 10 different fabrics that can be used to make the pattern. Unless you don't like the pattern, you can change it. You can do whatever you want.
They're half meter cuts.
They're half meter cuts.
It's not enough to make the pattern. So
in most cases, in most cases, it is not enough to make the pattern, but it'll get you started if you say wanted to make the pattern smaller. For instance, this one, the colors themselves is probably enough to make the pattern, but you would need extra white for your background.
Okay. Yeah. So it's not a kit, but it is a pattern and 10 half meter cut fabrics that coordinate, that could be used as your starter for the pattern.
because Kona has 365 different colors. And so each month they have a pattern that coordinating with the pattern, the fabric that they sell. And so we open the pattern, make sure that we didn't do it last year in the Kona Club, because we did start the Kona Club last year. And so you will not be getting duplicates from a previous year, and we make sure previous months aren't duplicated. And because there's 365 colors, we can do this. 10 colors a month, you're good. As well, each month changes. So this was June's, and very, very pretty teals and greens. And then coming up, here's your sneak peek of July. And so these are all your beautiful greens here. And so normally Kona is $13.90 a meter. And so you're actually getting a discount should you buy the packages, because these are on for $49.95. So with taxes, it comes to $55.99.
Where normally it would be
it'll be around $60 to $70.
$70,
yeah.
Yeah.
Around 70.
So you're saving about $20.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now you don't know in advance which colors are coming.
Actually, we do know what the patterns will look like, so you have a rough estimate of the colors, especially because they're all up on our website.
Okay.
If you look on our website and you see, and you search for Kona Club, and then it'll have all the months listed. Otherwise, if you want to come in person and take a look at the Kona calendar, because we still have some of those around, you can look at each one in person and then see the colors that we get to choose from.
Okay. So the package is pre-picked colors. You don't get to pick them. They are already pre-picked. Mm-hmm. If you want every month and a guaranteed spot, you need to sign the contract for a year.
Yes.
If you don't want to make that commitment, that's okay. You can buy by the month, but there's no guarantee that there will be
extras
extra
available.
kits. Okay. So if we did this before with a whole bunch of different lines, and we're it would be
like fat quarter bundles and stuff like that.
No, they
or...
were a meter, and so they were
meters?
No, they were a meter.
Oh, wow.
We did this was a few years ago, and so there was different lines that they came out with, and so every month there would be new colors, or we'd get a package or whatever it was. I can't remember what Carrie called it, but there was 2 or 3 lines, and so I stocked up. I was kind of sort of starting to get into quilting and at that point, and it was a great way to really fill up my stash, because I mean I go look at the Kona wall and I'm like, oh, and we are naturally drawn to certain colors. So if you go look at my stash at home, I've got teals. I've got probably about 14 different teals in my
purples for me.
Yeah, and purples. But they're all that same tone that we really like. And then when I go to do something, I don't have anything outside of that. This helps with that, because you're getting so many different tones, ones that you wouldn't necessarily be drawn to, but what you'll end up using. Yeah, so this is a great way to help.
That is why I signed up this year. I had got some birthday money in January, and so I signed up, and that's what's going on is that
you pay by the month, though. Even if you sign the contract, you do pay by the month.
Yes, you pay by the month, and we bill close around the 15th.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So there's that. One other quick announcement is this is a save the date, though the date's not here yet.
Then how can we save it?
Just know it's coming. Okay. So like block off. Okay. So we are having a grand opening celebration for Husqvarna. Okay, this will take place both in our Surrey store and a Chilliwack store. So one day it'll be in Chilliwack, one day it'll be here in Surrey, and we're just going to have a celebration. We've got an educator coming from Husqvarna who's going to run some classes for quilting and embroidery like EMB, all that fun stuff. We know it's in September, so we'll give you some more information as we finalize a bunch of stuff. This is still kind of, all the plans are in the making, and we're still kind of coming up with all TBD. So save the date. So basically mark off September. Well, you don't have to mark off Sundays because we're not open on Sundays. So Monday to...
But you should be going to church, you heathens. Just kidding. Just kidding.
So you've got Monday to Saturday. Just kind of leave those dates open. Nothing much happens in September.
No, it's not like school starts again or anything like that.
And then we'll let you know. But I'm pretty sure, I think their dates are going to probably be like a Friday, Saturday type thing. But don't quote me on that yet. Otherwise, I'll get fired. Quote me on it. Just joking. All right. So that's coming up. Yeah, we'll definitely give you more information that's coming. Next Tuesday, we have a kind of an added in class for sergers. If you are, it's not a beginner class. You need to know, but we're going to do a bag where they're going to, it's using flat locking and rolled hem to make a drawstring bag. So Monica's going to be teaching that.
So if you've recently done the Serger 2 class or the Serger 3 class, you'll be using a lot of the stitches that she just taught you how to do, and it can all be done with the Serger. So you don't need a regular sewing machine for this, you just need the Serger.
Okay. So go to the date on on the calendar for July, what day is that? July 9th. There we go.
She does have this written down.
I do, but I also have it written down 88 all over the place. So, and the information will be there. We have a Learn to Use Your Sewing Machine on July 11th. So if you've just bought a new machine, haven't pulled your machine out for a while and just kind of need some refresher courses, that's going to be a great class to do. Kimberbell Club's coming up in a couple of weeks, and our Kimberbell Day on July 27th. So make sure you get registered for that, both at Kimberbell so that you get the free pattern, and then us so we know that you're coming. Just because I don't want to be here at 8 o'clock in the morning if no one else is.
Oh, don't worry. I believe there's already people signed up.
I know there's already people. It's going to be fun. We have like treats and all that fun stuff. All right.
Oh, can I come in that day then? Or am I working that day?
I don't know.
What day of the week is it?
It's a Saturday.
Oh, no, I'm not working. So maybe I'll come in.
Cool. Yeah, we're going to have treats.
I like treats.
Yeah.
Carrie's a good baker.
Carrie will make some. I make some. A couple of our customers who are coming, our friends, they take and they bring treats, and so then we have like way too much food for that early in the morning, but that's okay. We have lots of fun.
We'll have to get Tom to make some coffee to level it all out, the sweet and the bitter.
All right, so you are going to share with us. So
okay,
if you've seen Weekly Dose for a bit, you would have seen this hanging up behind us, and this is her quilt. So quick reminder, unless you want to go back and watch all our previous episodes. Have a good laugh.
So there we go. This is believe it or not, this is made with 2 fabrics. I love rainbows, and I also love doing this with striped fabric. So the original fabric that I actually used to make this quilt is this. So it's just a striped fabric and it's rainbow. So it's actually super simple to do. It looks a lot more complicated than it is. So you would take your fabric and you would cut it into strips. Now you can choose however big you want. I chose 6 inches because it was the width of the ruler, so it was super simple to do. And so you just cut it into strips. And then you take your 2 strips and you match the stripes together. You do want the matching. Now I have a smaller one here so that it's easier for me to hold up. And so, as you can see, they are matching colors together. And you want that so that after you've sewn it and you peel it back, it will do the nice little matchy here like a mitered corner. I have just learned how to do mitered corners, so yay. But mitered corners are a pain. Mind you, when you do this, you're cutting it into 6-inch squares. And then, so you'll have a 6-inch square. And where is my 6-inch square here? And then what you do is you draw your line down the middle, which is your cutting line, and then a 1/4 inch to each side. Now, when I did it, I don't know if you can hold that up there, Lori, this little thing here. I used that. And OmniGrid has their version of it in a 3-pack for different half square triangles. But what you do is that...
Do you want me to...
Oh, can you move that? Excellent.
I can...
You can move it and you can be my camera woman.
Excellent. I will slide this forward.
And tilt it.
And tilt it.
Did you see the camera? She tilted it.
There we
So
go.
as you can see, you put it down the middle of your square, and then you would take your pen and draw the lines on the other side. Now, you can either sew it first along the lines and then cut, or cut and then use your 1/4 inch foot to sew it. Always up to you. I tended to just use my flat foot and do a whole bunch chain pieced when I did it. And so when you pull it apart, you will have triangles, like I'll have your 2 triangles. Now these ones may or may not match up. Oh, they do. How fun. Okay, so I'm gonna move that here. And so when they're apart, you would iron them open, and you'll have one where you have the long green end and then one with your short green end. And then you would just trim all your little edges off, which if you like, you can do that. If you don't, that's fine. And then what I did was I put them on point. So you'd have a few. And a few. And you just lay them out on point until you get it as big as you want it, because, you know, it's your quilt. You do what you want.
We're running out of room.
Oh, I know we're running out of room. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Okay. And then I took 1.5 inches, and I measured the square here, and then I put them all on one side, because that way you'll get the sashing, and you can kind of see it when you look at it. How there's the short edge of your sashing here, but this one kind of goes through. Oh, this one kind of goes through here. There we go. Have to figure out where I am with the camera. And so then you would measure your sashing pieces. What I did though was I made sure when I did it, I just kept the whole square. This was a whole square before I cut it off. These were whole squares before I cut it off. And then I trimmed it all at once so that I didn't have to worry about making a half of one of these, or like cutting this one to the right thing. I just did it all, made it as big as I could get it, and then just put another little sashing around before adding. As you can see, this was before I mitered my corners. Also, I wanted to add more length, so thus my borders on the top are wider than my borders on the side, which happens, right? Like sometimes you get a quilt and it's the size that you like, a certain size, and you're like, oh, but this could be a little bit longer so it fits better on the couch.
All right.
So that's what I did. And if you don't want to, say, do a diamond pattern like this, I had another one that I did. Now this one I still need to put my borders on, but as you can see, it's the same. The squares are smaller, but it was a different type of thing. And so you can do it that way, and you can get a whole different look with the same way of doing a quilt.
It's amazing what happens when you cut fabric up and sew it back together.
I know. And we're crazy. And this will work. So when you're looking at striped fabric in the store, what I recommend you do is that you line it up and then fold it back as if you were to have sewn it, just to see if it matches up nicely. Because there are some that match really nicely, and then there are some where you look at it and you go, no, it's not right for this one. So really, like, we do have a few in the store too that do have some nice, they kind of look like watercolor lines. And yeah, and I've already looked at those and go, ooh, I can make a quilt out of that. Because I really like this. And not a lot of people like half square triangles, but using something like this, or the OmniGrid equivalent, where you get a 3-pack for $33.95, you have the lines, and it's just quick lines down the whole center of the square, and you just sew, and it's easy. Sew on both lines that you've traced, and then cut, and you've got 2 half square triangles made.
Perfect. All right. What I'll take and do is I will link those.
Oh yes, we have them on our website, but we would probably have to order them in because we don't have any in store right now. But if you want them, they're really quick to come into the store.
Yeah. So I'll just link it, and then you guys can order it and get some more in. Yeah, they're popular.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so I think that's it. Thank you for sharing that with us.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Hopefully I spoke clearly enough. If you have any questions, come into the store. Ask me. I'm here.
Come harass her. I mean, come be nice to her.
I have 3 kids, so, you know, I'm used to being harassed. Mom! So, you know, it's good.
Yeah.
You get Grandma!
Well, no, I don't mind that one. It's the children.
It's the children, yes.
One in particular. Mom! Aren't you 25 and should you not be an adult? Like, I want to be an adult. Well, suck it up, Princess.
Nobody wants to be an adult.
No one wants to. Can hear her coming, and you hear that mom, and you're like going, hide, hide, it's coming. Yeah, when she phones me, she goes, "It's your favorite daughter." Not sure.
You know, my dad always did this thing, and I was his favorite daughter named Jennifer. I'm the only kid. I'm the only daughter. I have a younger brother, but I'm the favorite daughter named Jennifer.
My husband Ramon, he'll sit there and you're my favorite first daughter, you know, and second or whatever. I don't know how he managed to do it, but he got tongue-tied, and then that, and when he was talking to Boo, and he's like, "Well, you're my second favorite daughter." I meant she's not let him live that down.
Well, the one day where my father admitted that he only has one daughter was the day I wrote on the calendar, because I have to be, like, I'm his only daughter, so I am his favorite daughter, whether or not my name is Jennifer.
There you go. All right. Have a good week.
Mm-hmm.
It's supposed to be sunny and summer coming and hot this weekend, so have fun. And we will catch you next week. I'm not sure who's going to be sitting beside me next week, but
I mean,
you have to leave the province in order for that not to happen. All right, we'll talk to you later. Have a good week.
okay, bye.